I did electronics. They had quite a few bass players, I hear. I never actually met any of them. I've heard some stories about... I have heard some stories about some of them. And I happened to have got my equipment down in London, so I got myself introduced to them and said I'd be interested. And so basically I went along for an audition. I learned some of the songs, you know, they were doing a lot of some of the numbers. I remember things like Great King Rat and one or two other numbers off the first album. The group were, in a way, very much well-formed, you know. I mean, they had all the material for the first album, all bar one or two tracks they were already doing, you know. They had quite a backlog of songs and the ideas for stage production and, you know, how to put the group over were all there, in a way. I came along, in a way, as a bit of an outsider at first. And it did take me quite a few years to sort of grow more into the group, you know, and find myself, you know, at home, really. It was only a, you know, a spare time thing, you know, even with Queen, you know, I really didn't expect it to take off, really, you know. The person who's written a song tends to be the one person who sees that one song all the way through, from the idea they have in their head at first, you know, the final production, you know, the sounds on everything and the mix. It's very difficult for any group, the first album you do, always, the studio's a new thing, right? I mean, even on the first album, we managed to get in a bit, you know. I mean, I heard from a friend that they were looking for the bass guitarist to join, you know, their group. On the first album, we learnt a lot of the ins and outs of the studio. We started working with Roy Baker, really, who's a very technical whiz. He could actually enable us to do all the ideas that we had, you know, and could keep it under control. All the technical things that we wanted to do in the studio, he was able to put those into effect for us. It was the first time we really got into the big halls, you know, the Madison Square Gardens, you know, the Forum in Los Angeles and the Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, those sort of big things. There we were, we'd had 3 albums and, you know, we were still there on a basic wage, you know. We are 4 individuals, really. We are quite different in our musical tastes as well. Mine tend to be slightly lighter. I don't think I could ever write a heavy song, you know. It's not in me.